Ryan sat on the couch, glass of wine in hand, staring at the framed wedding photo on the mantel. He and Adam looked so perfect together, smiling, hands clasped, eyes locked in a way that once made his heart race. Now, the image felt more like a stage performance than a reflection of their reality. Love wasn't the problem. It was everything else. The passion had faded. Their kisses were familiar, routine. Their touches lacked urgency. Every moment with Adam felt safe, predictable, comfortable in a way that no longer thrilled him. And maybe that should have been enough. But then Noah arrived. Ryan heard the knock at the door and exhaled slowly, bracing himself. Noah had always had that effect on him. They were cousins, yes, but that word had never fully captured the strained connection they shared. They were close in age, raised more like brothers and distant relatives, but there was always something unspoken between them, something Ryan had never dared to define. When he opened the door, Noah leaned against the frame, suitcase at his feet, lips curled in that effortless smirk. "Damn, Ree, you didn't invite me in, or just stare." Ryan stepped back quickly, realizing he had been staring. "Shut up and come in," he muttered, forcing a grin as he moved aside. Noah brushed past him, the scent of cedar and something darker, musk, maybe, lingering in the air between them. He was taller than Ryan remembered, his body lean but built in a way that suggested he knew exactly how to use it. His black jeans clung to his legs, the sleeves of his shirt rolled up to reveal toned forearms dusted with ink. Ryan shut the door and turned, suddenly too aware of the space between them. "Long drive?" he asked, needing something, anything, to fill the silence. Noah dropped onto the couch like he owned the place, stretching his arms behind his head. "Not bad. Could have used some better company, though." Ryan rolled his eyes, but his stomach tightened at the casual flirtation. It was always like this with Noah, words that meant everything and nothing at the same time. "You're only staying for a couple of nights, right?" Noah tilted his head. "That a problem?" "No," Ryan said too quickly. "Just asking." Noah studied him for a beat, eyes sharp, knowing. Then he smirked. "Relax, Ree. I won't bite." He leaned forward, voice lower, more intimate. "Unless you want me to." Ryan's breath hitched. There was again the old game, the dance they'd been doing for years but never finished. The teasing, the pushing, the what-ifs left hanging between them. Ryan had always been able to ignore it, to shove it deep down where it couldn't touch the life he had built with Adam. But tonight, Adam wasn't home. Ryan cleared his throat, breaking eye contact. "I made up the guest room for you." Noah chuckled. "Cute, like I'm some stranger crashing for weekend." Ryan forced a laugh, but his hands were clenched at his sides. He hated how easily Noah got under his skin, how quickly he made him question things that should never be questioned. "Adam's away?" Noah asked too casually. "Yeah, work trip. He'll be back in a few days." Noah hummed, as if filing the information away. "That's so." Ryan ignored the implication. "You hungry?" I was about to make something. Noah grinned. "What, like real food? Last time I stayed over, you ordered takeout every night." Ryan shook his head, walking toward the kitchen. "Some of us actually cook now." Noah followed, leaning against the counter as Ryan grabbed ingredients from the fridge. The silence between them wasn't awkward. It was charged, full of words neither of them would ever say. "So," Noah said after a moment, his voice softer, "how's married life treating you?" Ryan paused, fingers tightening around the carton of eggs. "It's good," he lied. Noah made a noise, something between amusement and disbelief. "Yeah?" That didn't sound convincing. Ryan forced a smile, turned to face him. "I don't have to convince you of anything." Noah held his gaze, unflinching. "Maybe not, but I can tell when you're lying." Ryan's chest felt too tight. It was dangerous, this thing between them. He knew it, had always known it. He had built his life carefully, meticulously, ensuring there was no room for doubt, no space for anything or anyone who could threaten the foundation he had with Adam. But Noah had never followed the rules. He had always been reckless, pushing limits, testing boundaries. And tonight, Ryan felt like a boundary just waiting to be crossed. Noah picked up a bottle of wine from the counter, inspecting the label. "Guess we should celebrate," he said, grabbing 2 glasses. "Celebrate what?" Ryan asked. Noah met his gaze, something dark and knowing in his eyes. Being alone together. The word sent a shiver down Ryan's spine. He should stop this. Set clear lines, reinforce the walls between them before they crumbled completely. But instead, he let Noah pour the wine. And when Noah slid a glass into his hand, fingers brushing against it in a way that felt intentional, Ryan didn't pull away. He took a slow sip, throat tight. The night had just begun. The wine burned smooth down Ryan's throat, but it wasn't enough to drown out the tension thickening between them. The living room was dimly lit, the soft glow of the lamp casting shadows against the walls. Outside, the city hummed in the distance, oblivious to the storm brewing within these 4 walls. Noah sat across from him on the couch, one arm draped lazily over the backrest, fingers toying with the stem of his glass. His posture was relaxed, but his eyes were sharp, studying, waiting, always waiting. "So," Noah said, swirling his wine, voice low and amused, "how long are we going to pretend this isn't happening?" Ryan's fingers tightened around his glass. "What?" Noah smirked. "This." He gestured lazily between them, as if the electricity crackling in the air was something tangible. "You feel it. I feel it. Why are we still playing dumb?" Ryan exhaled sharply, running a hand through his hair. "You're drunk." "I'm not." Noah leaned forward, elbows resting on his knees, eyes locked onto Ryan's like a predator closing in. "You're just scared." Ryan swallowed, throat dry despite the wine. "This is ridiculous." "Is it?" Noah tilted his head, considering. "You think I don't notice the way you look at me? The way you always have." He let the words linger, their weight pressing down on Ryan's chest. "I know you, Ree. You don't hide shit from me." Ryan stood abruptly, setting his glass down on the coffee table with more force than necessary. "I'm going to bed." Noah's smirk widened, but there was something darker beneath it, something that made Ryan's pulse stutter. "You can run," Noah murmured, watching him, "but we both know where this night is going to end." Ryan didn't answer. He turned and walked down the hall, heart pounding in his chest. He barely made it into his bedroom before the footsteps followed. The door clicked shut. Ryan didn't turn around. "Noah." His voice was a warning, but it lacked conviction. Noah stepped closer, the heat of his body creeping into Ryan's space. "Tell me to leave," he murmured. "Say the words and I'm gone." Ryan's breath came shallow, the room spinning, not from the alcohol, but from the weight of what was about to happen. Noah was giving him an out. All he had to do was take it. But he didn't. The silence between them stretched, heavy, damning. Then Noah moved, slow, deliberate. His fingers brushed against the back of Ryan's neck, a feather-light touch that sent a violent shudder down his spine. Ryan squeezed his eyes shut. "This is wrong." Noah exhaled a quiet laugh, his breath ghosting against Ryan's skin. "Then why does it feel so right?" Ryan turned sharply, only to find himself impossibly close. Noah's lips mere inches from his, eyes dark and unreadable. There was no teasing now, no smirk. Only raw, dangerous hunger. "This is your last chance." Noah whispered, "Tell me to stop." Ryan's pulse hammered. His body was already betraying him, leaning in when he should be pulling away. His hands curled into fists at his sides, shaking from restraint. Then Noah kissed him, and Ryan let it happen. The moment their lips met, something inside him shattered, something he had spent years fortifying. Noah wasn't soft. He was demanding, claiming Ryan's mouth like he had been waiting a lifetime for it. And maybe he had. Ryan groaned against his lips, hands finding Noah's shirt, fingers curling into the fabric like an anchor. He should have stopped it. He should have pushed him away. But instead, he pulled him closer. Noah responded instantly, pressing Ryan against the door, hands roaming, mapping out familiar territory they had never dared to explore. It was reckless. It was inevitable. It was everything Ryan had convinced himself he didn't want. And yet, as Noah's fingers slipped beneath his shirt, as his lips trailed down the column of Ryan's throat, he knew there was no coming back from this. Ryan woke to the weight of Noah's arm draped over his waist, his body pressed warmly against his back. For a fleeting moment, he allowed himself to exist in it. The slow rise and fall of Noah's breath, the heat of skin on skin, the way their bodies fit together so naturally. It was intoxicating. And then reality slammed into him like a freight train. His stomach twisted violently as his eyes flicked the clock on the nightstand. The red digits glowed 6:42 a.m. Outside, the world was waking up. His world, his real world, was waiting for him to slip back into the life he had nearly destroyed overnight. He barely breathed as he eased out from under Noah's arm, careful not to wake him. His body ached in places he didn't want to think about, reminders of what he had done, of how easy it had been to forget everything he was supposed to be. He reached for his phone. A text from Adam. Adam, morning, babe. Just landed. Can't wait to see you tonight. Love you. Ryan's stomach churned. He clutched the phone so tightly his knuckles whitened. Regretting it already? Noah's voice was thick with sleep, but the amusement in it was unmistakable. Ryan turned, pulse pounding. Noah was watching him from beneath half-lidded eyes, his body still sprawled lazily across the bed, shameless and utterly unbothered. Ryan exhaled sharply, rubbing a hand over his face. This shouldn't have happened. Noah stretched, muscles flexing, before propping himself up on one elbow. But it did. His gaze was slow and deliberate as it raked over Ryan's form. And I don't think you regret it as much as you're pretending to. Ryan's jaw tightened. You don't know what you're talking about. Noah smirked. Oh, but I do. He shifted. Sitting up fully now, sheets pooling around his waist. You can lie to yourself all you want, Ree. But I was there last night. I felt you. His voice dipped, dark and knowing. You didn't just want me. You needed me. Ryan's breath hitched. Shame and something else, something he refused to name, coiled tightly in his chest. He turned away. I need to shower. Noah chuckled, but there was an edge to it. Right. Wash me off. Pretend it never happened. Ryan didn't respond. He walked into the bathroom and shut the door behind him, bracing his hands against the sink as he stared at his own reflection. His skin was flushed, lips slightly swollen. He looked different, felt different, like something inside him had shifted, and there was no way to put it back. He stepped into the shower, hot water scalding his skin. He scrubbed until his body ached, but nothing could erase the ghost of Noah's hands, the heat of his mouth, the way he had unraveled so completely. By the time he emerged, a towel wrapped around his waist, Noah was still in bed, watching him with an expression Ryan couldn't quite place. Ryan walked over to the dresser, pulling out a fresh set of clothes, determined to get through the day without breaking apart. Are you going to tell him? Noah's voice was quieter now, lacking its usual arrogance. Ryan froze, his hands curled into fists. No. Noah exhaled slowly, as if he had expected that answer, but still wished it were different. You're really going to just go back to playing the perfect husband? Ryan turned, eyes flashing. What else am I supposed to do, Noah? Tell him I fucked my cousin while he was gone? Ruined everything I built? Noah's jaw ticked, and for the first time, something like hurt flickered in his expression, but was gone as quickly as it came, replaced by that damn smirk. Guess that answers that. He stretched, standing and reaching for his clothes. So what? We pretend it never happened? Go back to being just family? Ryan swallowed, throat tight. We are just family. Noah laughed, but there was no humor in it. Right. Keep telling yourself that. Ryan looked away, but Noah wasn't done. You're lying, Ree. To me. To yourself. Noah stepped closer, close enough that Ryan could feel the heat radiating off him. Tell me this was a mistake. Look me in the eye and say it meant nothing. Ryan's breath hitched. His heart slammed against his ribs. This was it, his chance to end it, but the words wouldn't come. Noah studied him for a long moment, then let out a slow exhale, shaking his head. Yeah, that's what I thought. He grabbed his bag, slinging it over his shoulder. Ryan forced himself to move, to breathe, to act like this didn't feel like the beginning of something much worse. Noah reached the door, then hesitated. For what it's worth, his voice was softer now, less cocky. You don't have to pretend with me. Ryan didn't turn around. He heard the door click shut. And just like that, Noah was gone. But the damage had already been done. Ryan sat at the dinner table across from Adam, forcing himself to focus on the sound of his husband's voice. Adam had been talking about his trip, his meetings, the long flights, the dull hotel food, but Ryan barely processed any of it. All he could hear was Noah's voice. Tell me this was a mistake. Look me in the eye and say it meant nothing. He had never answered. Babe. Ryan snapped back to the present, his stomach twisting as he met Adam's warm brown eyes. Yeah. Adam smiled, but there was a hint of concern behind it. You seem distracted. You okay? Ryan's grip tightened around his fork. Lie. Just keep lying. Yeah, just tired. Adam reached across the table, squeezing his hand. The touch should have comforted him. It didn't. I missed you, Adam murmured. Ryan's throat tightened. I missed you too. Another lie, because right now, all he could think about was Noah, his touch, his breath, his body pressing against him like they had been made for each other. The worst part? It wasn't just the physical act that haunted him. It was how alive he felt in Noah's arms, how effortlessly the weight of his perfect, structured life had melted away. He had spent years convincing himself that what he had with Adam was enough, that he was content. But Noah had shattered that illusion in one night. I was thinking, Adam's voice pulled him back again. We should take a trip, just the two of us, somewhere quiet, reconnect. His thumb brushed against Ryan's hand, his eyes full of hope. What do you think? Ryan felt the walls closing in. A trip, alone with Adam, pretending everything was fine, pretending he hadn't spent an entire night drowning in someone else. He swallowed hard. Yeah, that sounds nice. Another lie. Adam smiled, relieved. I'll start looking at places. Ryan nodded, forcing himself to smile back. He felt like he was suffocating. That night, Adam fell asleep quickly, his arm draped over Ryan's waist in the same familiar way it had been for years. Ryan lay awake, staring at the ceiling, his mind a storm of chaos and regret. His phone was on a nightstand. He hadn't spoken to Noah since he left, hadn't texted, hadn't acknowledged the gaping wound left behind. But he felt it every second. His fingers hovered over the screen, hesitation clawing at him. Then, almost without thinking, he typed. The response came almost immediately. Ryan's pulse pounded. He shouldn't do this. Ryan! I can't stop thinking about that night. A pause. Then, Ryan closed his eyes. He had hoped Noah would say something different, something that would make it easier to bury this, to move on. But deep down, he had known the truth all along. Noah wasn't letting this go, and neither was he. His chest rose and fell in shallow, uneven breaths. One night should have been enough. It wasn't.